What's going on YouTube? OCD for EDC here, and what I got for your face balls today is a few new things. So I just got this in the mail the other day, and this is the Gavco Nurse by Drop. We're gonna try and turn this up a bit. I also got some new lighting, which I'm still trying to get completely figured out here. So we'll see how that works. It actually has a fancy-dancy little remote that I can adjust the brightness. I can also adjust the temperature of the color here. So interesting little light, and you guys will have to let me know what you think about the lighting, if it's better, worse, good. Right at the moment I look like I have some shadows here, so we'll get that figured out. But yeah, I hopefully it's going to work out well. Anyway, so the Gavco Nurse, got that in for review. Pretty cool knife. This was one that I definitely wanted to get my hands on and check out. I really like the design. I wish it was larger. I can say that right off the bat. So hopefully they're going to come out with a Nurse XL. Would be awesome. But, you know, it's a cool knife, and so definitely I'll have a full review of this thing coming up very soon. But in today's video, we're going to look, we've got an unboxing here. Actually, you know what? I'm going to set this off to the side because I got a couple unboxings. One of them is from Bespoke Post. So we're going to open up this box real quick. It's a long, thin box. I have no idea what's in here. But let's check it out and see what we've got in this box. Using the Gavco Nurse for an unboxing. Oh, and it's a knife. Imagine that. So here's what we got. Let me just make sure. Yep, nothing else in that box. So this came with it. Nakiri, Bespoke Post. It says Japanese design and German craftsmanship equals easier meal prep. Alright, so it says here gourmet 6.5 inch Nakiri knife. I'm not familiar with chef knives, but here is the box. It's a pretty nice box. This little slide. So let's check it out, see what we got. Another card. I don't know if this is a good brand. I know I've seen this logo before. This little logo right here, Z Willing. I'm not sure how they pronounce that, but it's kind of an interesting knife here. So the end is just squared off, but very, very thin grind on this thing. Not sure. See what it says here. Yeah, it just says made in Germany, gives a part number. So I'm gonna have to do a little research on this. I'm not really sure what this is, but definitely interesting that the tip's cut off. I'm sure you know, this is just for chopping vegetables, that kind of a thing. Yeah, we'll have to check it out. That'll be something that my wife will be into more than me, I'm sure. But interesting knife. So thanks to Bespoke Post. All right, now this is the box. So this box has at least I think it has what is a knife that most people are pretty pumped about and excited about. So this is my latest box from Spyderco. So this is shipped to me from Omaha Knife. We have two items in this package. So let's get into it and see what we got. Oh. All right. So here's number one. Let's check it out. Yes, sir. This is, there we go. This is the black bladed PM2, the Emerson PM2. You can see right there, it is CPM S30V, black G10, black blade, black clip, totally, well, the liners are not black, and that backspacer is not black. Lanyard tube is, however, black. Uh, but yeah, so this is another knife. They already came out with one of these with a satin blade, and this one is in black. I can't remember. This is a dealer exclusive. So if you want to read up on it, you can pause right there. And yeah, this was Blade Ops. You can see it right there, bladeops.com. So, and for whatever reason, I don't know if these are both the same, but it came with two. Let's check it out real quick. So, Paramilitary 2 family. Oh, this is for the Emerson. So they break down. So if you want to pause right there, you can read all that. It's just the design and instructions on how to use the Emerson Wave feature. Kind of interesting. There's all the warranty info. And then this here is all about the PM2 and how it was designed, materials, all that sort of stuff. And same kind of warranty info on the back. Okay, now, so there's one. This is the one that everyone is excited about. There it is. There's the part number C249TIP. This is the Swayback in plain edge. And so this is a design by Marcin Schleich. And here it is. So first up, so instead of a box, it comes in this padded carrying case. It's like microfiber on the inside, no pockets, but really nice, super nice padding. So nice case, and it's the Spyderco logo is actually embroidered into the case. So yeah, I like that. It's kind of nice. You know, the boxes that you get from Spyderco are nothing really special. You know, they do put this little foam padding in the bottom of the box, but otherwise, you know, the box is, you know, just a little slide cover, and yeah, that's what you generally get. So the fact that for this knife you get this padded pouch, yeah, kind of a nice deal. And I'm pretty sure most of Marcin's knives have came that way. So this is the same designer that did the Spidey Chef and the Schleich Bowie. So yeah, definitely a well-known knife designer, has been around a long time. So here is the paperwork on the Swayback, and it talks here about Marcin Schleich. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but this is the way it's spelled right there. And so you can see here, he began making fixed blade knives in 2006, but quickly graduated to high-end or high-tech folders. Yeah, pretty interesting. I like these little paperwork pieces and information that Spyderco gives you with the knives. It's just kind of interesting to see some of the history. And I like the fact that, you know, these aren't just generic. You know, they don't print the same one of these for every single knife. They actually give you information about the knife that you purchased, which I think is a nice touch. I like that. But let's get into this thing. So this is one that a lot of people have been excited about. Oh, here I am hitting the camera. A lot of people have been excited about this, wanting to see this knife. So we'll just run it over real quick. You know, kind of standard spoon style clip. It does seem to stand up pretty tall on this side compared to a lot of Spydercos. So that's something. Definitely not as tall in the pocket as a lot of Spydercos are. But it is contoured, which is really nice. And yeah, I mean, it's a nice, you know, plain. So the finish on this is very, if you've had a Spidey Chef or the Schleich Bowie, this is the exact same type of finish on the titanium. All the corners have been well rounded. The blade tang, everything looks to be very well chamfered. You got two barrel spacers, very nicely done. So let's give her a flip. Nice. So you can see right there, there's my collector club number. And yeah, it says right here, Taichung, Taiwan. pretty nice looking knife. You know, if you like that design, definitely going to be, you know, there's no jimping on this knife at all. And yeah, it feels good in hand. Let me see what I've got. So right now I've got my Para 3 lightweight in my pocket. So there's a size representation. So not a huge knife, but certainly bigger than the Para 3 lightweight. Let me grab one thing here. Here it is up against the Manix 2 XL. So there you go. Give you a pretty good size representation. Actually, let me grab a standard Manix. I should have been more prepared for this. I wasn't thinking about doing size comparisons, so I did not have this stuff out. Yeah, here we go. Good Lord, nothing like being unprepared, huh? All right, so here it is up against a standard Manix 2. This happens to be a lightweight version, but size-wise, it is the same as a standard Manix 2. So you can see here, overall dimensions, we're talking about the same length as a Manix 2. So blade length on the Swayback, just over 3.5 inches, just barely. It's about 3 9/16. And yeah, pretty cool looking knife for sure. Definitely feels good in hand. And it is a frame lock. You got a hardened steel insert. You can see that right there. Access to the Spidey hole is a little bit narrow, but seems to work just fine. One of the things I noticed right off the bat is they really chamfered the areas around the hole a lot. Generally, you know, with Tai Chung knives, all the edges on the blade, the spine of the blade and the Spidey hole and the choil area is very sharp on the edges. This one is not at all. This one is actually more rounded off. This is the most rounded off Spidey hole I've ever felt, actually, which is quite interesting. More so than the Chef. Good Lord. It's hard for me to get my finger in there. There we go. So you can definitely get your finger in there. It's just going to take a little bit of getting used to. It's just a small opening to get access to that hole. But there's the lockup there. Definitely got good positive lockup. Zero blade play. And you can see Marcine's designer mark right there. So yeah, really nice knife. And this one, if you didn't know, is rocking CTS XHP blade steel. So let's do. And I was so excited to open up this box, I didn't get all my stuff out to get prepared for this. But let's check out the factory sharpness here. So let me get this moved in a position where you can see it. And we'll get the stuff loaded up here. So, interesting knife. You know, I don't know. You guys will have to let me know in the comments if anybody's excited or pumped about this one. I know there's, you know, certainly been a lot of talk. A lot of people have been waiting for it. All of Marcine's designs sell out really well. You know, the Sleesh Buoy is a knife that is highly coveted and hard to get your hands on unless you want to pay insane prices in the secondary market. But actually, we're going to start off in the way that I unbox things. So we'll start with the old kitchen knife here and see what we've got for sharpness. So here we go. Wow. Not very sharp. Holy cow. That surprises me. 410 grams. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there, but I would have expected this knife to be way better than that. But we'll try her again in another spot real quick just to see if I maybe screwed something up or did something wrong here. Let's tear that out. Let's do this one more time. Wow. This knife is just not sharp, plain and simple. That is crazy. So this kitchen knife is totally just working on my. I didn't even cut the material on 975. So let's tear that out. We're gonna try a different spot on the blade, and that test media is probably damaged right in that area. So this test may be completely invalid. But good lord, 795. So this thing is not sharp at all. I don't know. Maybe this design, I don't know anything about this design. I didn't even know this thing was coming. So maybe it's not supposed to be really sharp. Maybe it's more like a spatula or something. I don't know. But it definitely has a secondary edge bevel on it. So they attempted to put an edge on it. But this certainly is a different design. I'm not really familiar with this. So I may be a complete moron here, and Japanese, whatever this thing was, Nakuri, is not meant to be a sharp blade. I don't know. So we'll have to do a little research there, because I may just be a total dumbass. But anyway, so let's get into these others that we opened up here. I will not test, or I mean, we can do it just for giggles. But the Gavco Nurse was sent to me by way of the Apex Pass Around group, so I have no idea what has been done to this edge. I know it has been to multiple people before it got to me, so let's just we'll just throw it down real quick and just see. Yeah, 240, still sharp knife, but like I said, I'm sure it's been used and not resharpened. So take that with a grain of salt. It's certainly sharp enough to open your packages still. And, for those that don't know, about 350 is where you're no longer shaving arm hair. So 240, not a terrible number for especially a knife that has been used some. Okay, so let's get into the Spyderco Emerson PM2 in S30V. I don't know. Not sure why this thing does that. Some knives, when I get close, and I haven't even touched the actual test bed, it registers 5 grams. See, it just did it again. And I have not touched the actual test bed. So, I'm not sure what's going on there, but let's get this straightened out a bit. Okay. Not that 5 grams is really going to make a whole bunch of difference, but, just trying to keep it all straight. There we go. 120 grams on the old Spyderco Emerson PM2. So that's a really, really nice edge on that knife, straight from the factory. So Golden, Colorado, definitely setting the bar high. We'll see if Tai Chung can handle or can stand up to that. But yeah, definitely 120 grams. That's good. That thing's sharp. So let's see here. Get that centered. All right, now for the Swayback. Let's see what we have. Here we go. 165. So not quite as good as the Golden, but 165, still a really sharp knife, no doubt about that. One more thing here real quick. Let's get a weight on this thing. So what we're looking at was about 3 and 9/16 on the blade, if I remember. Yeah, 3 9/16. Handle length is 4.5 inches, almost exactly 4.5 inches. So you can see it right there. And height in the pocket, 1.25 inches. So really compact, pretty comfortable knife, no doubt about that. So let's take a look at the weight here. So for a full titanium frame lock, it doesn't feel very heavy. Yeah, under 4 ounces. So definitely in that wheelhouse of an EDC knife. You know, this thing's definitely going to take up less pocket room than a lot of Spydercos do. And, you know, blade shape or blade length is, you know, roughly about the same. But if you look at overall length between the Mannix and the Swayback, you can see that it's quite a bit shorter than the Mannix 2. And blade length, it's actually got more cutting edge for sure. So we'll move it over here. But lining the pivots up there, you can see that the Mannix 2 blade is slightly shorter. So you definitely have more cutting edge with the Swayback. And it's a Wharncliffe design, you know, whether you love that or hate that or whatever. Wharncliffes are definitely very, very usable blade shape. First impressions on this are pretty positive. You know, blade's perfectly centered. Fit and finish seems very, very nice. They did a really great job here. I don't know if I have a good example of this, but you can see here that the lock bar lines up well when the blade is closed, which is something that I like. I always hate it when the lock bar, you know, when the detent ball drops into the hole on the blade in the closed position. I hate it when the lock bar is inset, and so it makes this ridge here. You know, that's just... this is just evidence of a really, really nice design. You know, all these little small details were thought about. There is the only, you know, minus the cutting edge, this edge right here is a little bit sharp, but nowhere near as bad as most of the Taichung knives. So I'm really kind of nitpicking there, but this thing, all the edges have been chamfered very, very nicely, with the exception of this edge, you know, this lock bar cut out. But again, like I said, it's very, very minor. Certainly don't feel that at all in the hand. Not the clip isn't creating any sort of ergonomic disasters for me. It is reversible for right or left tip up carry. And it seems like it sticks up a long ways, but like I said, it does work well in the hand. Oh yeah. Yeah, look, the difference here. So you can see the difference in height and how far that clip sticks up. Let me see. Hold on a second. Man, I didn't have anything prepared, but real quick here, I'm just gonna pull a measurement on this clip. So we'll measure from the flat of the knife to the clip. So 1.98, 1.97, or I'm sorry, 0.197. So, but roughly about 0.2 of an inch is how far the clip sticks up from the flat of the scale. And on the sleesh, on the Swayback, it's going to be much higher than that. Yeah, 0.254. So you know, you got about an extra 50,000, or well, a little more than that, almost 60 thousandths. You know, 58, 59 thousandths that it sticks up higher, and so definitely a difference there. It's something I noticed right away. And you can see, you know, just the height difference in this clip versus the PM2 clip. Definitely quite a big difference there. But like I said, it feels good in hand. When I first saw that, I thought that was going to be an ergonomic disaster, but it really isn't. It's kind of surprising, actually, how well that seems to kind of hide in my hand. You know, this portion of the clip is hitting me about right here in my right hand. You know, in this kind of saber style grip, it feels really good and feels locked in, feels comfortable. Definitely doing these types of cuts, draw cuts and stuff. It's going to be a good knife. There's no doubt about that. Spyderco does a good job with XHP, so I have no doubts that the edge retention is going to be good. So yeah, overall, quite positive. Definitely going to need to get used to just the size of the hole. Just to give you an idea, on the PM2, the diameter of the hole is a little over ½ inch, 560 thousandths. On the Manix 2, roughly in the same area, 555. And on the Swayback, there you go, not quite 400 thousandths. So quite a bit smaller on the Spidey hole. And the PM, the Para 3 lightweight, you can see, it got a hole on the same size as the Manix and the PM2. So definitely smaller opening there, but no issues at all. Just slow rolling it out. And like I said, I doubt very much that it'll be a problem. It's just getting used to it. To do the Spidey flicking, it's doable, but good Lord. There we go. So it's just, they just don't give you a ton of space in there. So, I've got big hands and with large fingers. So if smaller hands, which are definitely going to be the majority, you're going to have a much easier time with this than I do. But yeah, cool knife. I like the fact that they did a small lanyard hole. Spyderco has a bad history of making lanyard holes and lanyard tubes, screw other things up. So I'm glad that they did it in an area that is functional, but it's kind of out of the way. So that worked out well. Otherwise, yeah, I think it's a pretty cool looking knife. So let me know in the comments what you guys think about the old Spyderco Swayback and whether or not you enjoy this. Let me know about the lighting. From what I can see on the screen here, right at the moment, it looks like I got a bunch of shadows and stuff. I'm going to have to get that figured out. Definitely, I will work on that. I literally just opened the light and it showed up along with these knives. So I have not had really any time to mess with it. But definitely we'll get things up and rolling. But anyway, guys, hope everyone's having a great day. Have a good one. We will talk to you next time. Bye.